let's begin by introducing the Residence Guide to Mesa. So Residence Guide to Mesa is a program that offers free classes with useful information to help Mesa residents improve their neighborhoods. We prepare these classes for you to have a better understanding of the city services, so you can also connect with other residents and gain tools and training to make positive changes in your community. We have in-person classes, we have webinars like this one, we have some on-demand videos you can watch at your convenience. The important part is that we have prepared these for you, and it's your feedback and your questions and your comments that will help us improve it and keep it to the quality that you deserve.
So I am here today to walk you guys through our Residence Guide to Volunteering in the City of Mesa. So over the next 30 minutes, we're going to talk about the ins and outs about volunteering, the different opportunities we have, the ways you can get involved, and how you can get started with the City of Mesa. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you guys. Okay, so welcome to the presentation today. As I said, my name is Katie Pollock. I'm the Citywide Volunteer Program Coordinator. Today in our presentation, we are going to talk about a whole lot of things. We're going to start off talking about National Volunteer Week, event opportunities, our city programs, our group opportunities, the different city departments that you can volunteer with the City of Mesa, how to connect with myself and all the departments that I'm going to mention to you guys. And then we're going to set aside time at the end to answer any questions that you have about the different opportunities and programs. So to start off, I want to talk to you guys a little bit about National Volunteer Week. This is a really special week that comes about the end of every April. And this is the time when we really get to acknowledge the amount of work and effort that our volunteers put into these programs and into the City of Mesa. So this photo is captured from last April when the mayor was giving a proclamation to honor the incredible work done by the volunteers in the City of Mesa. Thank you. And during last year, we had 10,500 volunteers. And over the year, they volunteered 127,500 hours. This included all kinds of different programs from all different departments. And throughout this week, we didn't ask the volunteers to do any more projects. We simply wanted to honor them. So we started out by hosting this proclamation that we did at a movie night where volunteers could bring their families for free. We showed a movie on the big screen in downtown Mesa. And then throughout the week, we hosted free yoga, we had fire station tours, we had jewelry making at the library, and then we also honored for the first time a Just Serve hero, which is somebody that was nominated from one of the volunteer coordinators within the city as an exceptional volunteer that has been giving back to their community. This year, our winner was Jay Jesclard, and we are very excited to continue this tradition every year and nominate and present at least one volunteer with this award moving forward. So this is just a really special week every year that we honor all of the effort that our volunteers put into making the City of Mesa a better place for its residents. So first and foremost, I want to talk to everybody about our event opportunities. This is one of the most exciting and engaging ways that you can volunteer with the City of Mesa. Through our department, which is the community engagement, we host multiple events throughout the year. On the screen, you can see 3 of our major events. The first one listed is our Martin Luther King Jr. Parade. This parade takes place every January. And we have volunteers that help with all sorts of things throughout that event. We have people that come help with setup. They help with checking all of the different parade participants in. We have volunteers that get to walk in the parade. We have volunteers that line up along the sides of the road to help the parade moving forward. people that are going around and picking up trash. At the end, we have people that check in the floats at the end to make sure that everything has gone smoothly, and then they can go home at the end of the day. And then there's even a really fun festival that takes place after the parade that we have volunteers for. So this is a really fun, engaging opportunity that a lot of people do year after year, because once they do it once, they're kind of hooked and they want to come back and repeat it every single year. So it's a fun way to get started with the City of Mesa. Another opportunity that we have annually is the Arizona Celebration of Freedom. This event takes place on the 4th of July. It's a huge celebration. You've probably heard of it happening in our city, but it could not be possible without the hundreds of volunteers that we have helping it run. Again, we have all kinds of job duties that can fit anyone. So we have people that are helping with setup, people that come and help me with check-in and just sit there to make sure that the event goes smoothly and everybody gets checked in. And then we have volunteers that are helping at the event. So that could be helping with the water slides, the carnival games, the info booths, all sorts of opportunities to find a really fun opportunity for you. And that could be you volunteering by yourself and just getting to know other volunteers in your community, or if you have a group of people, whether it's a family or people that you work with that want to come and volunteer together, that's a great way to get engaged. Another opportunity that we love that we actually just had last weekend, or the weekend before last, September 7th, is our Love Your City event. This is also an annual event, and it's one of the largest that we host throughout the city of Mesa. And what it is it is a combination of multiple volunteer projects that are all happening on the same day. So for 2024, we had 24 projects happening on September 7th, where we had over 600 volunteers come out and participate in these projects. They range from anything that could be alley cleanups, helping a resident clean up their yard, painting a USA map at an elementary school. We had projects where people were painting the citrus trees to prevent them from being sunburned. We were able to build garden beds at Paz de Cristo so that they could start gardening their own herbs and vegetables that they can use moving forward for the people that come to them daily. So this is just a really beautiful event where people come together all across the city to take place all in one day. So we're making this massive impact together. And this is an opportunity where we as the city provide you dozens of options that you can choose to volunteer for, so you can find something that you specifically are very passionate about. Or if you have an idea yourself and you're like, I've seen this project, I'd love to get it done, you can bring that to me and we can help make this a project that we can do for Love Your City, so that it's something that can be completed. We can help you find the volunteers for it, or you can bring your own group. But it's just a really beautiful way for everybody to come together to make our city a more beautiful, caring, loving place for everybody to be. So these are a few of our highlighted events that we have throughout the year. Other events that we have are a Cesar Chavez event, a Juneteenth event. We have Celebrate Mesa twice a year that we love to have volunteers come out and help with. So really all throughout the year, we have opportunities that you can engage in for events. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead. Did we do the poll?
Yes, there is a poll right now on your screen.
Perfect.
And the question is, have you ever volunteered for the city of Mesa? And yes, no, and then there's a third answer. I'm on the list, but I haven't volunteered yet.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that, Tanya. And as of now, it is looking like about 20% of you have volunteered and about 80% of you have not yet, which is super exciting that we have you here today to kind of learn about the different ways that you can become involved and engage in our different opportunities. So I'm going to leave this up for just another second, and then we're going to close it down. All right, we're going to close the poll. Thank you guys for participating in that. Okay, so now I'm going to talk to you guys a little bit about our city programs. So these are programs that really help our residents. The first one is Neighbors Helping Neighbors. And this program benefits residents who need physical and or financial help to maintain their home and yard to the standard that they would like. So what this means is a resident in need, whether they have weeds growing in their yard, maybe their fence could use help fixing, or they have debris that they need to get rid of in their yard, they would reach out to the city of Mesa to fill out a form explaining why they are unable to complete this task themselves and why they need support. From there, I receive the form and then I go out and actually do a site check to determine the scope of work that needs to be done. And from there, if it's an appropriate and safe opportunity for a volunteer group to help with, I then look out to different volunteer groups and I see if somebody is ready and willing to bring a group of volunteers to help with a one-day project. And this would involve a lot of hard work. It is really hands-on. You are getting in there, you are helping this resident clean their yard out, loading it in a dumpster, helping with any debris, really getting them back to a point where they feel comfortable and safe in their home so that it's easier for them to maintain moving forward. So this is a really fun way if you want to be a recurring volunteer in the city of Mesa, but not looking to volunteer every week. Maybe it's once a month, maybe it's quarterly. Maybe you want to do one of these projects once a year. There's all kinds of options for you to get in there and help a neighbor who really needs it. Another city program that we have is our tool lending program. So this program benefits residents who need support completing home and or yard projects. This program is absolutely free. It's open year round and it's used for individuals, groups, yourself, or a volunteer project. So our tool lending program is similar where anybody who needs to borrow tools, whether that is rakes, a wheelbarrow, shovels, tools for gardening, you can reach out to the city of Mesa, fill out our form, and actually come pick up those tools at no charge. It's a very simple process, but what we're really aiming to do here is just make it more accessible for people to complete these projects that they're wanting to do. Because buying a wheelbarrow for one project just doesn't make sense financially. So we want to be able to help you with that and make it easier. And a lot of times our tool lending program is being used for volunteer groups that are coming to pick up supplies to help someone they know complete a project in their home. So this can be done by residents who need it, by volunteer groups, anybody who is looking for tools. All right, so let's talk about opportunities for group volunteers. I love group volunteer projects. They are so much fun. They bring so much energy and life, and it's just a really great way for people to come together for a good cause. That can be your family, your coworkers, your church group, your kickball team, anybody who is looking to come together and make an impact in their community. And there's multiple ways for volunteer groups to participate. The first one that we talked about a little bit already is our event volunteers. So they can volunteer at anything from parades, festivals, celebrations. I've talked about the ones that our department specifically hosts, but there's so many festivals and things that happen all throughout the year in the city of Mesa. There's the marathon, the Cyclo Mesa event that comes up, and then all the ones that we already talked about. And any groups can come and volunteer for those. And it's just a great way to get everybody out there together and also enjoy the celebration or festival that you're participating in. Another really good opportunity that I just talked about is our Neighbors Helping Neighbors. I personally think that this is one of the ways that you can make the most direct impact to help a neighbor in need, because you are seeing exactly what they're struggling with. You're meeting the person that you're helping directly, and you get to see the outcome, which is a really beautiful thing. You get to see it start from when it's just really overgrown and not functional to what you create to a beautiful, clean yard, and that resident comes out and you get to see in their face just how grateful and appreciative they are for the work that you put in. And so that is something that year round we are looking for support with, and we need groups to help with. We currently have a wait list for our Neighbors Helping Neighbors program because over summer it's very hot, it's very difficult to find groups and timing that it is safe to do those projects. So now is as good a time as ever to kind of jump on that bandwagon of helping a neighbor in need. Another group opportunity is our cleanups. This can be anything from alleys, parks, schools, public facilities, and more. So we do a lot of alley cleanups where people are actually getting out there. We're unlocking the alley for you. You spend a couple hours removing all the debris, all the weeds, making sure that city vehicles can drive through it if necessary, and that it's just a functional, beautiful alley for the people that live backing up to it. Parks are also a great opportunity to get out there and clean up, whether that's a park that has hiking trails and you want to pick up trash along the trails. Other opportunities are we need to sanitize our parks every once in a while to make sure that all the equipment is safe and spick and span for the people using them, or just going around with trash grabbers and making sure that we're picking up any trash that's escaped the trash cans. As we know, during monsoon season, it gets really windy and that can be a really challenging time. So we always need people to help pick up debris and trash during those times. And then we also work really closely with our Mesa public schools. And so anybody who is interested in doing a cleanup or a project with a school can contact me as well, and I can help find the best fit for that so that your group can come out and make a direct impact with that school. Now, I know that these are not a one-size-fits-all. Sometimes there's a special project that you have in mind. Like recently, I had a group of residents reach out and they really wanted to paint a retention wall in one of the basins in their community. And so if you have an idea, you can absolutely bring that to me so that we can talk about it, we can go over it, and I can figure out how the city can best support you in making sure that happens. Whether that's getting you connected to the right contact, whether that's helping you come up with the supplies you need, helping you come up with a specific date, or if you need additional volunteers, I can help support that as well. So I'm always open to talking about special projects. I love working with you guys and hearing what ideas you have that you can bring to the community as well, because we're all coming in with fresh ideas and different perspectives on how we can improve our community. So I know that volunteering as an individual is very rewarding. I recommend you all do it, but there is something really special about volunteering as a group. It really creates a shared experience that can feel even more impactful. So if you ever have an interest in group volunteer opportunities, definitely reach out. Okay, I think we have our next poll now.
Yes, here it is. Which volunteer opportunity interests you the most? We have events, neighbors helping neighbors, cleanups, or other. And if you have a different idea, you can write it at the Q&A window.
Perfect. So we're seeing some of these answers come in now. Events looks like we have about 60% of you interested in events, which I love because those are so much fun. And then for our neighbors helping neighbors, we have about 20% of you. So I am going to make sure that when Tanya sends the follow-up email to everybody, that you have the link that you can actually sign up directly if you're interested in volunteering for a neighbors helping neighbors project, because we can put you to work right away. And then we have about 15% of you interested in cleanups as well. So we're going to give you just another second to fill that out, and then we're going to move right on. All right. So we have closed the poll. I appreciate you guys all for taking a minute just to fill in those answers. Okay, so next up, I want to talk to you guys about our entire team here at the City of Mesa. Because while I am the citywide volunteer program coordinator, I do not do it all. We have an amazing team of volunteer coordinators that come together to bring different opportunities for you guys to make an impact in the community. So I'm going to start left from right and just briefly introduce everybody. Up on the top left is Corey Black, and she is the volunteer coordinator for the City of Mesa Libraries. Then next over is Bethany Freeland. She's the volunteer coordinator for our fire and medical team. Then we have Raynetta Brown. She is the volunteer coordinator for our Parks and Recreation Department. And then I'm right in the middle as your citywide volunteer program coordinator. Over one more, we have Gabby Duran. She is the volunteer coordinator and she oversees the internships for the police department. Then Michelle Prosser, she's the volunteer coordinator for the Mesa Art Center. And then TJ Godelli is the volunteer coordinator for the Museum of Natural History here in Mesa, Arizona. So let's take a moment to dive into the different opportunities that all of our city departments have. So you can see up here, these are the 6 major departments other than the one I've already talked to you guys about thoroughly, which is community engagement. But first we'll start with fire and medical. So you can see that there's a contact there if you guys are interested in volunteering with the fire and medical team. They have a couple different opportunities. A lot of theirs are recurring opportunities. So they have a connector program and a CERT program. The CERT program is Community Emergency Response Team, and they are trained to respond in an emergency. So they go through quite a lot of training, and they are recurring volunteers on a year-round basis. And then the connectors are also regular volunteers where you would be committing to whether it be once a week, multiple times a month, but they're ways that you're really getting engaged and getting to know the ins and outs of that department. When it comes to the Mesa Art Center, their opportunities are a little more varied. So there's a few things that they're really looking for right now. They always need theater ushers. So those are people that are helping scan tickets and hand out hand out programs for that. But those are really neat ways that you can also learn more about what's going on at the Mesa Art Center, because there are things happening there all the time and different ways to enjoy the Mesa Art Center as well as volunteer for them. Another thing they have coming up is the Dia de las Muertes Festival, and they need lots of volunteers for that event as well. So we will make sure to send you guys the sign up link for that at the end when Tanya sends out her follow-up email. And then the police department has lots of opportunities as well. So you can see their email to contact them. They have volunteer opportunities and internship programs. One of the neat things that they can do is if you're interested in volunteering with a specific department, they can help get you hooked up so you can really learn the ins and outs of the different ways that the PD works. I will say that the background process and the onboarding the background check and the onboarding process is quite thorough, as you can expect. So that is an opportunity where once you apply, it may be a couple months before you can begin, but it's absolutely worth it if that's what interests you. And then moving down to the Museum of Natural History, this is a very fun opportunity where you can help with all different kinds of opportunities, whether that's helping with their kids programs and events, helping to keep the museum clean, or just helping usher people through. They also have people that help check in and sell the tickets. So this is a great way to learn more about the museum, get involved with it, and then it's really fun because they have those children's programs as well that you can participate in and volunteer for. Our libraries are another great place you can volunteer. And our libraries have very dedicated and incredible volunteers. People spend years, decades volunteering at the library, and they go once a month, once a week, and just feel very at home there. And they also have different opportunities. That could be sorting books, that could be helping with the bookstore, running some of their youth programs as well. Endless opportunities at the library. So if you are interested, definitely reach out to Corey Black because she can talk to you more about that. But that's a very fun place to be. And then Parks and Recreation, as you can imagine, is also a wonderful opportunity to volunteer. And they have a few things they're specifically looking for as well. So they have special events that happen all year round. And they're very similar to the events that I talked about for our department. But that could be anything from like Celebrate Mesa, which is coming up soon. They need help with carnival games, inflatables, setting up, breaking down. And then they also have things like youth sports. So they're looking for volunteer coaches, and that could be basketball, soccer, baseball, all kinds of sports. And so a lot of those take place seasonally. So most of them are a 7-week commitment. And that one also includes a background check that you would need to have. But those are very fun, very rewarding opportunities where you get to work with these kids and see them progress over that 7-week period and help them feel like part of a community and really proud of themselves for their accomplishments. So I know that was a lot of information on this slide, but we're going to make sure to recap it for you guys in the follow-up email. But you can screenshot these contacts. We're also going to send them to you. I just want you to know how many opportunities you have with the City of Mesa. It is not limited to one department. There are so many things that you guys can do. Okay, so how to connect. If you are interested in volunteering, I would love to hear from you. So you have my email up here. You guys can absolutely email me directly. I would love to chat with you and just kind of talk through any ideas you have. If you think there's a barrier towards volunteering, please reach out so we can talk about that. But you can also visit our website, and that has all of our updated opportunities. So if you just scan that QR code that's on the screen, it will take you to the website where we have all of our upcoming opportunities listed for our department. And from there, you can filter to the other departments as well. You can also subscribe to our volunteer newsletter, and that gives you first access to signups. I'm always sending that out with what's up and coming so that you guys have first choice, first ability to really get the opportunities that you want to participate in. And then with those newsletters, we also like to highlight our different volunteers, recap our past events. And so you might even see yourself pop up in a newsletter if you participate in an event. But these are the best ways to get engaged with us. So definitely scan that QR code, sign up for the newsletter, send me an email. I would love to hear from all of you.